Kalalal Wahawadlaya Bashemir Shaibash Mukakadash, Abalanas to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule and teach well, peace and salutations to the brothers and the four corners of this earth, pushing us within truth and sincerity. I'm Madam Monatazaki with another impromptu. Yeah, this is an impromptu video. A brother posted this just tonight in the group chat. Was a link to a video on the reels on Facebook. Alright, so we go play the video and we go break it down through the scriptures because I watch part of it and watch the whole thing, you know. So we will go through it because it seems very informative. Alright.
So tonight I want to talk about going to war. Going to war not with China, not with Iran, but going to war with Venezuela because it could be coming sooner than you think. Take a look at this.
Breaking news, a dramatic U.S.-led escalation in the Caribbean. What the Navy calls the largest warship ever built, along with fighter jets, heading to the waters off Latin America.
So for a few months now, the U.S. has been working on something that kind of looks a lot like a regime change in Venezuela. And this story caught my attention because as I'm getting older, I see the same story told again and again. But this time it's a lot easier for me to see through the narrative, and it's really interesting to break down the psychology of how a government sells a story and an idea to its people. So why is the U.S. so interested in Venezuela? Why is it happening right now? Let me explain. The news tells us it's about democracy. It's about human rights. The war on drugs.
The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel.
Nicolas Maduro is an indicted drug trafficker.
I announced $50 million reward for his capture.
But there is another story. The story is about oil and power and the war to stop China and Russia from getting control over the idea of what money will be in the future. And Venezuela is a very important part of this story. Venezuela happens to be a country with the biggest oil reserves on Earth, even more than Saudi Arabia. But going to war is very unpopular, so how do you sell the idea of war to people? And there's a couple different ways that the government does this. For example, if the drug war narrative doesn't convince you because you're like, I don't really care about that, then maybe an economic angle will resonate better. We're doing it to fight the socialists because capitalism's clearly better, right? But if that doesn't work, maybe appealing to your patriotism and your values will. We're fighting for democracy, protecting freedom, stopping human rights abuses, right? There's always some moral angle to sell an unpopular idea so that we can step in and fix all the wrongs in this world. This time it's not Iraq, it's not Libya, it's Venezuela, which again is a country that happens to be sitting on more oil than anyone else on Earth. It's also a country that happens to be very closely aligned with China, Russia, and even Iran, which are all against U.S. interests. Because keep in mind, this is happening in a time when the U.S. is losing control over strategic resources and losing control over dollar leverage. Every barrel of oil that goes to China, every shipment that bypasses the dollar, effectively weakens the influence of the United States.
Let's stop with it because that is the main part of the video that I wanted to get out. You know, maybe I'll come back and we go on to another part. You know, but nevertheless, we could use this here for now. You know, just to keep it concise and to the point. Alright? So, go to some precepts here now. Alright? First Thessalonians 5 and verse 1 through we could go down to 3 now. Alright? It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need I write unto you. I do have to write on, you hear what he said? But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you understand, kin, like-minded men. Men of the body. Men who preach the same doctrine. Teach the same things. He said what? Ye have no need I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. right? And we all know, I believe it's Zechariah, but into Zechariah to see what the daddy law is. You understand? Is destruction. So we know that destruction cometh as what? As a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And this is exactly what's going on. Because last week Friday we had a severe is not the word, but a serious, very, very serious military alert throughout the country. Myself and other brothers who have, connections or not connections, I'm gonna put it like that. We know people who are in the military, right? And just to say, the information came from good sources, in other words, that yeah, we're ready and for war. They evacuating the capital city. And if you know anything about war, you know that once your capital is deemed, I don't want to say destroyed, but more or less, once they take your capital, they take the country. Right? I mean, you lose, basically, in a nutshell, right? The Prime Minister came out to say she don't know anything about the military mobilizing. She don't know anything about the alert. They come out and say, oh, that fake news, so on and so forth. But hear what the scripture say. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And then everything flow back to normal because people was running in the grocery, that traffic, this, that, the usual fucking panic. Last minute panic. Right? But it say, well, sudden destruction shall come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. They will not escape. They have no preparedness. They could prepare for what coming. War is at hand. War is at our shores. It's at the door. The day of the Lord is at the door. You understand? The prophecies are at our doorstep now. Our doorstep. And when I say our doorstep, I don't just mean it happening throughout the world. I mean it happening right here. The water, yeah, bashim, yo, shy, bashim, crocodile, for that. Because people need a shake up, severe shake up at that too. The Lord will bring it real to them. Things they're watching on CNN and BBC and saying, wow, look at that now. They'll be experiencing it. They will be on BBC and CNN, on the rubble. Right? The other thing the guy mentioned in the video was that America is seemingly doing this to keep control because they're losing control. Revelation 12 and 12. It says, well, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Yeah, he have a short time to remain in power. Alright? They celebrating the 250th year of being the United States. And 250 years is the normal age of a kingdom or era, if you would. Alright? So the reign of Esau is coming to an end, and this is how they bringing it, they're trying to prolong it. Right? They're trying to acquire things even through violence, even through means, even through lying, because that's what the man was saying in the video. And the man looked to be an Edomite, and I say look to be because he don't have to be spiritually, but he seems to be, you know what I mean? He bear the physical attributes of an Edomite. And the thing about it is, they doing all these things, and he himself seen it. He say, the older I get, I see the same story being played out over and over, just with what a different narrative now is against drug trafficking. It had ones talking about defending human rights, and the other way saying They will play on wherever, they'll spin it however they could spin it to make it look good. If they can, when you're with the drug trafficking story, they hit your economic view. We want to introduce capitalism because socialism had the people of the country in bondage or whatever. However, they go spend it out. What did I basically what you saying? You understand? And they will what? Let's say for the devil is coming out once you having great wrath because he know that he had but a short time. And that is just it. He know for a fact he time short. He know it for a fact. There's Habakkuk 2 and no, there's no precept I'm looking for. This I think is in the book of Micah. It's a woe to them that devise iniquity and look evil upon their beds. And when morning upon their beds, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. You understand? And that is what they do. And take them away by what? Take them by violence. And that is what this whole really about. It's not about the drug trafficking thing because for umpteen years they was trafficking fucking drugs. You understand? For umpteen years. And now, ironically, at the last year of all the kingdom, now you want to fight that fucking war. You understand? Because why? They cozy up to the opposing side. They cozy up to bricks. Alright? You know, the man said that the largest oil field on the planet, or the oil reserve rather, on the planet. And we know oil is top dog when it comes to commodity. Right? It could be producing how much gold, how much diamonds, oil is top dog. You understand? So they're just showing you. This just goes to show the truth behind what really going on. A peek inside of what it is really about. And I think this is why I'm going to name the video. A peek inside of what really going on. A peek inside of what they're going to war for. It was Habakkuk 2. So okay, this is the precept I was looking for. I'll start at 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, and he is a proud man, neither keepeth us home. Slack and married over. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he's a proud man. He transgressed by what? By doctrines, the teachings he's pushed. You know, you could believe in whoever you want, you could do whatever you want. You understand? He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Precept speak that another he can't be satisfied. His spirit in him is not upright. We could tell you that. We just read in Micah, you know, the covet fields by violence and take them by violence by covet field. They want what is not theirs. You understand? And this is just it. Right? And cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and he put unto him all people. That is just it. And this is what is going to spark or ignite This means they're not even going to it already ignite the tensions, because the tension's extremely high right now. We could be at war in the next half an hour. You understand? We could be preparing for, because last week Friday they say the army was on posture 1, which is war ready. And let me rephrase that, not the army, the regiment. Because we don't have a fucking army to begin with. So I want to know, what defense do we fucking have? The Prime Minister saying if anything happen, America will come to our aid. You know, the same precept seems to be reiterating themselves, and I mean, it's a beautiful thing, because as it's saying in Habakkuk, it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right? Say America will come to we aid, right? This is Isaiah 31:3. Now the Egyptians are men and not power, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is holpen shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. So all the aid America will come to we aid. You know what that precept just say? It will be to naught, to no effect. Yeah? Non-profitable. We are doomed. When I say we, I mean the country Trinidad and Tobago. Let me put it like that, not the man of the Lord. No. Nevertheless, I hope this was edifying. Hey, you never know, I might go on to the next part of the video and do a part 2 to this video. But hey, hope it was edifying to the Akim, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yeshai Bashem Kakodash. Until next time, shalom.